Good morning, friends and fellow farmers. It's the night. Do 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 do. Let's get our coffee beans. So we got a fair amount of stuff last time in our race through the mines there. It didn't feel like I was going to get that much. It felt like the mines were a little quiet, but it turned out they were hopping a little bit more than I expected. So we got about 20 bars of each. None of the gold. We got less gold. I do not have room for this. Let's go and sell a few things. So let's get rid of our gemstones. And that's get rid of the cave cards. Okay, we're good. Now let's get our lovely star fruit here. We had, I think there was a little bit above up top too. Yeah, this is good. It's not the biggest amount, but it all adds up. Good morning. Good morning. I planted these in a little pot of back. I grew that with great love and attention. Thank you. It's a fiddlehead fern. Good morning, chef. Okay, yeah, we do have a few. Here we go. I need to go check the greenhouse. And I may need to take these seeds with me. Don't I have some out there? I feel like there might be something doing there. Let's drink some coffee as well. Let's get the bejeebers out of here. Alright, so first things first. Some copper. Okay, so I'll keep the copper there because we're going to work on that. Let's go put our crops down here. Pretty sure we... Oh boy. Didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming. Okay, that was unexpected. And we need to go and get some of our... Oh man. Okay. So, let's get a plan here. Let's get a plan, man. Let's go in here. Okay, right, I don't have star fruit. I just have more of this. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get this done. This is good. So the other night I watched a movie, what's it called? 13 Women. It was an old, kind of a pre-code horror movie. Well, not really horror, it's thriller, suspense, I don't know. It has Myrna Loy in a kind of questionable, a mixed race character who's in. She is not. She's very white. So she was, painted up and playing a clairvoyant, kind of pseudo clairvoyant character who, in fact, is just seeking revenge against girls that scorned her because they were racist, ironically, But yeah, basically she goes through and exacts revenge throughout the movie on all of these girls. Not a bad movie. Myrtle is always enjoyable. It's funny seeing her. She normally does. It's not quite the usual role. So, but it was well done. Everybody was really good in it, and I didn't realize it was the famous movie that has. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Peg. I can't remember her last name. Thurwhistle or something. She's the really kind of sadly best known as the actress that jumped off the Hollywood sign. This is her only film credit that she didn't get to see because she didn't quite make it. And yeah, it's a weird grisly story that's oft referenced. She was just depressed and climbed up on the Hollywood sign and took a leap off of the H, and that was the end of it. Yeah, very. I knew the story. I didn't realize this was her tiny little film role that she has. That's quite sad, but it was a good movie all told. Let's grab all of these. Let's grab those. Guess I may as well get started processing these. part of watching some of the older, when I watched I think I may have talked about that, I watched Dr. X recently. Movies from that period that are, quite often a runtime of like an hour, and it's kind of underrated in a way. I think we've become so obsessed with the box office spectacle, the 2.5 hour, 3, and it was funny when I remember growing up, an hour and a half was the standard. Anything longer than that was actually considered to be too long. It was like excessive, or just like, what could it possibly have to say that requires that much time? And so I think a crisp running time was viewed positively. It could have also been a budgetary reaction to the stuff done in the 70s, which was, you still had the 70s, early 80s, where you had I guess, the legend, the notoriety of like Heaven's Gate, and films like that kind of made a big dent in the independent filmmaking system. I don't know if that affected the desire to get shorter runtimes and thus get budgets down, because if you can cut off an hour. So I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm kind of intrigued by it. I don't really know business-wise exactly how that all functioned. It would reason. But, well, yeah, anyway, when I was a kid, movies were always seen as like pretty short, really. And then they got longer. Because when I was a kid, I remember watching, stuff from the 70s and thinking, wow, like I loved it. I like long movies. But it wasn't a thing that I found the 80s were excelled at. And the 70s, you watch The Godfather, or you watch Francis Ford Coppola movies, things like that. Things had more, they took their time, they felt weightier. They didn't mind, lingering a little bit, whereas everything later seemed to be in a rush to get out the door. But I feel like when you go way back, everything was so tight. Like, I think it was partly because the theater chains owned most of the movie theaters, and they wanted to get as many showings in as possible. So a crisp running time was probably a good thing. And so really, even if you paid for double bill back then, I mean, you're really watching 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours worth of movie, tops. There's movies that were longer, but I'm surprised at how many movies I've watched that are around an hour 10, but barely over an hour. It's like a TV episode now. But they barrel through the plot perhaps a little too quickly, and characterization suffers, definitely. Sometimes it's like you blink and you miss it. You're like, what happened? I'll sometimes watch something while I'm like, making dinner or something. I'll watch an old movie, and it's fine. Like, generally, you can pay enough attention. I'm not cutting off my fingers. But sometimes I have to not, because like, too much happens. You're like, I just missed 20 seconds of plot, but I feel like it was integral to the entire movie. But I enjoy a lengthy movie, if it's going to really take its time and not just be for the sake of itself. Let's do this stuff. Okay, 275 left, so we got a few kegs left here. That's 230. Boy. Because we could... I don't know that I'm going to reset to the island. I think what I'm going to do is try to collect the pig stuff. Yeah, it's bananas. Yeah, I think definitely the ability to tell really complicated narratives is a thing that we do better now than then. I think there's a briskness to things. But again, I think as a art form is figuring itself out. It's figuring out what are its possibilities and what are its limitations. What can it ask of its audience? What can it ask of the viewer before people kind of go, no. So I guess back then the job of the producers to figure that out, to understand what popular taste is, which it becomes problematic because it in and of itself can end up dictating taste, which becomes a feedback loop. where it's the things that get made is the things they want to see, but that might not be necessarily what people exactly want, but people will tolerate, or people are just used to it. It takes somebody to come along and throw it all out and go, yeah, let's try something new. Which is always enjoyable when you see something pushes the boundaries a bit. Alright, that is done. We're back on pineapples. Do. So I think I probably have, I'm guessing, I probably have fruit on the island that is up. So we did mostly ancient fruit. I don't need to do that one. Come and do this one. There's coffee in here still. Oh my gosh. This was largely ancient fruit, ancient fruit wine as well. Wow. That was surprising. But yeah, I've not been watching as many movies in the past little bit. But with everybody being sick and stuff here over the past whatever month, that was just kind of not a great month. Watched a lot of TV. I'm now, I don't even know, like finishing season 7 of Shameless. Which I actually think is a show that in many ways got better as it goes along. I think it got more nuanced. It got, it's still ridiculous. It's still, you know, as I was saying previously, it's like, I'm going to leave those actually. Like, yeah, it's like a melodrama. There we go. Dump that. Okay, so we got 1,000 wine. That's good. Yeah, the show is still like, you know, Trailer Park Boys meets, I don't even know, some ridiculously, it's like Days of Our Lives meets Trailer Park Boys, I guess. I think that's the description I'd given to someone in recommending it. I was like, it's ridiculous. You just have to lean into that. Swap this wood out. Okay, I don't have any water for you there, kitty. What am I doing? I could, yeah, it's probably still quicker. Oh boy. Look at that. Forget how fast copper smelts down. And done. Here we go. Okay, I'm trying to, as I go silent as I'm trying to count. Okay, there we go. I don't want to take everything out if that's, you know, there's no point. Okay, let's get this going. Alright. So whatever I was in the middle of saying, not important. Oh yeah, anyway, Shameless, it's, realize how simple it really is as the story it's trying to tell. Basically just the idea of like, everybody, it makes mistakes, everybody's a bit of a mess, and it doesn't condemn most of the people in the show for their bad mistakes. It suggests that even good people make mistakes, and sometimes bad people are, they get away from the idea of being too judgy, I think, on most things. And that there's context, although some of the stuff and you're just like, what? But a lot of it, there's times where you're like, it's far more nuanced than I think a lot of shows give credit for. It's a better show than I expected, by a long shot, actually. So enjoyed that. I mean, it's so over the top. It's definitely, it's not for kids. It's one of those, you just, yeah, no, can't have kids walking in the room. But it is funny. I think I consistently there's some laughs. It's ridiculous, and some of the characters you just come to kind of hate. Like you're sick of them. So I'll probably be very done with the show by the time I get to the end. But consistently, William H. Macy and I mean the whole cast is really good and much better than I expected, which is always a lovely surprise when you're watching something when you go, Yeah, no, I didn't have the bar too high. And we kept watching despite its ridiculousness, and anytime we thought, maybe are we done with this, they would just change gears, and it seemed to know when to do that. And so anytime you got tired of a thing, you realized, oh, I could just wait 5 minutes and that thing will be gone. Like whether it's a character or a plot, it moves fast. More happened in one episode of that show than most other shows. It's kind of absurdist. But I think it took on a lot of taboo topics in a way that was sometimes more thoughtful and responsible than you would expect, which I also thought was interesting. Alright, let's dump this. Guess I'll just sell these things. I don't really need them. Okay, let's blast home. Oh, I need coal? Are you kidding me? Do I not have coal? Okay, so... and then let's go and make some coal, because I can't even smelt this stuff down. And then next time we're out gathering up stuff. Oh, oops. Oh, what did I... oh, these ones don't have anything in them yet? Oh, right, I placed them, and then I meant to. Oh, okay, well, you're making some jade now, I guess. I'd wait to put diamonds in, but really, I think we made so little off the diamonds that it's just like... it's like, yeah, okay, that's a nicety. I'm not sure how many... again, on my brain on the math, I'm just trying to, if we're making about 500,000 on a good day here for 1,000 bottles, it would suggest that each one is worth what? I don't even know. Let's say it's 200, no, it's more than 20,000 per shed. I don't know how much we're making per shed. There's... no, couldn't tell you. I don't even know how many sheds I have at this point. 9? Is that how many? 8? Maybe it's only 8 that are like legitimately producing. So it'd be 8 into 50,000 or 500,000. Should go in 6, so 60,000 a shed maybe, which would definitely be better than the these. I don't. Maybe these produce more often, so I don't know. I have to figure out how often that works out. But I don't know in this playthrough whether which one's more effective. It's hard to say. I think the crystallariums. So I do have 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, but 8. I mean 9 now, but it was like 8. Say 9. It's like 50-ish thousand per. Okay, and then we'll get going here with this. Put in 5 of these. And then we'll come here and... there we go. Give that kitty cat some water, and we'll wait here. Be done? I don't think it is. I'm just gonna go inside. Not gonna wait. Not bad. I think we made some progress there. Okay, we sold the stuff. Got to see. Yeah, okay. So next time we gotta go and do big harvest. Alright, we'll see you all next time. Till then, bye-bye.